So our womb is a very sacred space. And connecting or maintaining connection with our womb as women, it's a sacred process, which is what I'll be showing today, which is what I've just done. And I've captured some moments to share. Yeah, let's begin.
In the art of my being, the essence of collective spirits shining, shimmering, redefining the sacred, the divine.
And how do we keep our awareness in our womb in its healthiest state? And most importantly, how do we listen to the cycle of our body? How do we listen to our womb and the wisdom of our wombs? Because all our wombs carry a deep wisdom within it. And how do we access that wisdom? How do we listen to it? Is what I'm going to also be sharing today. So let's start with why. Why would you want to do this? So our womb carry or hold in a lot of tension and a lot of traumas. From sexual traumas to traumas with our mothers, the mother wound or the mother-born trauma sits in our wound. Because this is our sacred woman space. It's our womanhood. It's where it holds our womanhood. Or ubumama bethu also sits there. So when sikhubekile go mama bethu, or we have that wound, it gets affected there as well. Another one that is normally overlooked is when we're having sexual intercourse with people that are not aware of our boundaries, and they kind of not enforcing. Of course, it's consensual, we've all agreed, but they're going in it with a bit more roughness, I could say easily, or they're just not aware whether your boundaries have been crossed, whether you're now not okay or you are okay. And when that happened, we construct, and our womb does the same. And our womb won't let go, meaning we won't even actually enjoy sexual intercourse because our womb can't trust and it cannot let go. So it also, that's another way of actually our womb saying to us, your boundary is being crossed, right? And it holds in as a way of communicating and saying, you need to do something, the boundary is being crossed here. And usually it's too gentle for us to notice. We would just feel, oh, that man is just, he doesn't know what he's doing. Or we would just have a perspective or mindset that sexuality is for the man, is not really for us, because for us it's painful, right? Which is not true. And still in the topic of sexuality, which is one of the biggest thing I would advise a woman to work with their womb in this way, is when you're having sexual intercourse with someone who doesn't love you or who doesn't have your best interest at heart, and for whatever the reason is that you are having sensual exchange with such a person, whether you have no idea how they truly feel about you, even though I doubt that could be the case. So we always know how someone truly feels about us. But be that as may, if that is the case, or you make money in that way, regardless, once we let someone into our sexual space, in our womb, in our womanhood, right, and they come in there and they are stressed from their own world, and all they want to do is just release the stress from somewhere else so that they can feel a little bit better. They don't care about you as long as you can be a vessel that can receive their shit, really, for them, and then they can move on. And then we become those vessels, knowingly or whether we're aware of what we are being for them at that moment or not. We become that, and then our bodies have to soak in all of those intentions. And now we're not even talking about something metaphysical like energy. I'm saying they're putting their energy on you. No, they're putting their sperms on you, and that which are coming with their stress, most times with actual viruses like STIs and stuff. But their stress, all their baggages, they come and literally dump them on us, and our body observes that. They take that in through our womb. So our womb will just take that in. So it's very important that we are releasing all these things that don't belong to us, and that we are aware as to what enters our body and what intentions are entering our body. And I believe that if we truly, truly listen to the person that we are in relations with and to our body, we will know if they have a good intention for us or not. Firstly, we set the space. This is a very important step in any of my sessions. I always talk about setting our space, making sure that we are marking the beginning and the end of our session, telling our brain and bringing our soul's attention to what we are doing. So the very first thing I do, I set my space. I bring my soul, or I present myself, bring my presence to what I'm doing. So I'm not listening to music, I'm not listening to anything. I make sure that I do this when there's very minimum disturbance. Of course, I cannot eliminate every disturbance since I have a family, but I try and do it where it's nighttime, everyone is sleeping or everyone is taken care of. And if they need something, it will be something easy and it won't truly take me completely out of the process. So the important thing to remember here is that I mark the beginning and I also mark the end. Now, with any process, like a healing process, it's important to always start and end. Okay, so the way I set my space, as you can see, it's very simple. I light a candle and I will burn something if that feels good to me, but I did feel I needed to burn a little bit of herbs. I think in the herbs was frankincense and some other herbs that I've dried that I put in this jar that I don't remember what those other herbs are. But again, the life of Iketla. I have so many herbs around me that sometimes I forget what I also mixed in a mixture. But the intention of this smoking cleanse was for the heart opening. It was a heart dedicated for the heart. So there is a bit of rose in there, I know, and also cleansing the space. Frankincense is also there. So the herbs that I'm using, they like herbs you can get anywhere really. You can use anything truly. So I'm using motherwort and raspberry leaf. There's cloves in there. There's ginger, calendula, and I also used umhlonyane. So umhlonyane is ngesilungu, I think they call it wormwood. I think so. So umhlonyane is local to me. It's the mother herb that engakhula ngayo. Every winter, it's just like, I've just always drank that, and we would go and fetch it for Ukoko, and she would cook it for everyone to have. So it's a very special herb for me, umhlonyane, so that's why I add it in most concussions that I do, in most herbal blends that I do that has to do with womanhood, with healing, with cold, or like bringing warmth and stuff. Okay, so I mixed it all in my bowl, and it was already in a plastic. Because this is a big batch, I usually just dry herbs and make a bigger batch for different things. So this one was already in for about 6 months. It's been a while. Okay, so I boil some water and use tap water, just normal water. Boil it and put it in there. The steam will kind of rise up. If you've never had a yoni steam before, the steam will kind of rise up, and it will be the one that is going up into your vaginal walls, into your womb, and the herbs, the medicine in the herbs, and are gonna be carried with the steam to do all the things. But beside the herbs, because it's not about the herbs really, you can put any healing herbs that you want. You can also not put anything truly. You can just have water, like warm water. Just warm steam water will also do wonders, as it will obviously relax you. You will feel the relaxation, and it will still give you good benefits to do it with just water. So don't feel discouraged if you don't have amanzi, if you don't have any herbs, any inkambi around you. If you have green tea, like the what is it, tea bag inkambi, you can use those herbs as well. Remember, those are still herbs and medicine. Inkambi, even though they're not in a tea bag. In this moment, when I sit down and allow myself to kind of relax and be here, because I do this automatically, my body kind of decides to do it. And whenever I get that urge, is usually very, very close to my cycle or that time of the month. And it's when I'm feeling very drained and very tired. And this is kind of like taking time for myself and truly just being there for myself, really. And it helps me to recharge this time that I carve out for myself. It does do wonders to my mental state as well. So when I sit there, I sometimes try and read something. This time I couldn't read anything. There was a lot that was running in, racing in my mind, and I needed to make sure that I calm myself. So I did some few breaths and coming and intentionally going into my womb space. And going into my womb space, really just touching, but also connecting with womanhood for me and feeling where I'm at. All right, like our cycle is so sacred because it communicates and gives us